can't have fun at work or you don't have fun.
Sounds like you get to shine today, huh?
Yeah.
No, I don't know. I know they did this committee.
That's the preliminary.
All of them said that this was the best.
Right.
Just to remind anybody who's here, wants to do public comment, is there a sheet up there?
Yes.
The answer is yes. So name, address, phone number, email. Let's fill it out completely. And welcome to the City of Chester special council meeting for Wednesday, April 1st. That's no fooling. We're having a special council meeting on April 1st. We're going to do like we always do. We're going to start off with an invocation, followed by the pledge. All rise.
O God of might, wisdom and justice, through whom authority is rightly administered, laws enacted and judgment decreed, assist us, we beseech thee, that this city council may be conducted in righteousness and be eminently useful to thy people over whom we preside. Amen.
Amen.
I
All right, let's see who's here. Roll call.
Councilors Gibson Williams.
Present.
Green.
Present.
West.
Present.
Davis.
Present.
Mayor Roots.
Present. The meetings of last week, the meetings have not been prepared from last week's meeting, so we'll go to public comment on the one agenda item only. Anyone want to come to the mic and talk about the pool? All right. Let's keep it rolling. Old news, new news, is that enough? Yep. Old news, new news, anything, council? Since last week, you want to share? Seeing and hearing none, we're looking to get through this one quickly. We just have the one ordinance, Madam Clerk. Oh, there is none, the resolution, I'm sorry.
Not a problem at all. Resolution, whereas the City of Chester made a request for proposal, RFP number 2025-003, for the municipal pool operations and management, with responses due on February 14th, 2025. And whereas the City of Chester has complied with all PennDIG use requirements, and whereas the sealed quotes have been tabulated with no discrepancies found. Now therefore, the Council of the City of Chester does resolve that it does hereby award the municipal pool operations and management to USA Management LLC, otherwise known as U.S. Pools of Pennsylvania, in an amount not to exceed $106,180 for the 2025 season. Further, said contract is contingent upon final review and approval of the city solicitor.
So moved.
Second.
Any questions or comments? Just so you know why we're having a special council meeting for this, which may not appear to be so special. It's all about timing. Bureaucracy has its own calendar. We want to get the pool open as early as Memorial Day, but no later than Juneteenth. And in order to engage a pool operator, this process has to be done like now, today, in order to get there. So there's this, and then you give them the award, and then there's a contract, and it's a process. So you have to work back from where you want to get to, which is between Memorial Day and what was the other day? Juneteenth. The goal is to get the pool open on Memorial Day. It would be open on weekends only up until the time that school dismisses, which is right at that Juneteenth week. So that's why we had to squeeze it in. Believe it or not, next week may have been pushing us beyond the prospects of getting it open on Memorial Day. So that's why this special city council meeting is being held for something that, for many, may not seem like a really special thing. Madam Clerk?
Councilors Gibson, Williams.
Yes.
Green.
Yes.
West.
Yes.
Davis.
Yes.
Mayor Roots.
Yes. And we're almost done. I mean, that is it for official business. Because I didn't want to bring you guys for a 5-minute meeting, after we go through public comments, are there any?
Yes.
Okay. We actually have a presentation for you, which I think should excite you guys. Oh, and the person who's going to give public comment is the person that's going to do the presentation. So I guess you are the presentation. Ms. Jean Arnold.
Good morning, Mayor and Council, and thank you so very, very much for allowing me to speak to you this morning. This is my first time coming before you, and I'm giddy as a child, so thank you so very much. First, I would like to say, before we talk a little bit about this, I have a favor to ask. And in conjunction with that favor, there's a small YouTube clip that Mr. Tibbles is going to play for you, but before he does that, I want you to know that I want to introduce you to a mayor in America, and his name is Jalen Smith. He is currently in college, and he is the mayor of Earl, Arkansas. We found Mayor Smith while some of the students in our school district were preparing for Law Day. And we were so impressed with him that we wanted to do more. And so I'm here to do an ask of favor. Now, before you do look at this clip, I want you to remember that our school district teaches critical thinking skills. And one of the tools that we use is the Venn diagram. And that diagram allows you to exercise comparison and contrast thinking. So as you look at this video, and I invite you to go on YouTube and do some other Google searches on this young man, I want you to look at this Venn diagram technique and do some comparison and contrast for our city, our students, and this young man and what he has done and what he is doing. So without further ado, Mr. Tibbles, could you share a bit of this YouTube clip?
Whatever you were doing at 18, it probably wasn't this impressive. After graduating from high school this year, 18-year-old Jalen Smith, like many of his Gen Z counterparts, wanted to make a difference in his community. But unlike most of them, he did something about it. Jalen actually decided to hop on the campaign trail, running for mayor in his small town of rural Arkansas. And you know what? He didn't just run for office, he won. And apparently, he tells us his mom still can't stop crying. And that he's going to be leading this rural city and its 1,800 plus residents as the youngest black mayor in U.S. history when he's sworn in January. And Democratic Mayor-elect Jalen Smith joins me now to discuss his journey and his plans for Earl, Arkansas. Jalen, congratulations.
Thank you, and thank you for having me.
Oh, it's
Well, we will stop there just to get you interested. So I invite you to
so let's just start.
So I invite you to go on YouTube and finish the rest of that YouTube clip. Now, the ask is, how can we bring this young man to Chester? I want it to be a big deal. I don't like small stuff. You kind of know that. And I know we're capable of doing that. I think he's an inspiration to our city government. I think he's an inspiration to our city at large. And he's definitely an inspiration to our student body. You will find out that he first was a member of the student government. And we have student government in Chester. And he was so inspired, he started to wear suits every day. And one thing led to another. He saw a need. He connected with the power of one and decided to act and do something. And this is the history of what he has done. So, Mayor Roots has allowed me to sit with him and some others in a meeting following this meeting. I think we're going to be there, and I know it's last minute. Forgive me, I've been sort of involved with some other activities. That's no excuse. That's just what happened. So what I'm doing is asking you if you can come to the meeting immediately following this meeting. There will be others, but know this, I am asking that we bring this young man to Chester. There are any number of ways in which we can have a wonderful experience with him, and maybe he can do a convocation or something of sorts at Widener University. He has done some of that work already. That takes some planning, and we want all in with this. And thank you for letting me bring this request to you, and I look forward to working with you in terms of how we can make this happen for our students and for our city. Thank you.
Thank you.
I have a question.
Yes.
So the student body that's currently, the student government body that's currently at the Chester High School?
All of our schools have elected officers. They do that every year. And then there's something called the student government. And so when you ask the principals at any of our schools, I don't know if we do it at Stetzer or Main Street because they're elementary. They might. But we do have elected officers for the different grades, and then we have elected officers for student government. And that's a beautiful opportunity, and you very well know that, Councilwoman Gibson, that we can utilize to develop leadership skills so that when people sit in these seats, they know parliamentary procedure, Robert's Rules of Order, and all that sort of thing.
Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's a great program, and I would very much like to see if we can work it out to have Mayor Smith come to Chester. My daughter was president of student government in 12th grade, in her 12th grade year, so it was an honor. You know, she ran for the position and won, and so it's quite an honor, and the children thus far have represented us and the school district well.
Yes, we have some ninth graders that some of us are working with, and they are taking the ball out of the court. They're like sponges. They're eager to learn and to know how to conduct themselves in leadership. And I implore and say now, thank you for helping us do this.
I would be honored to have him to come here. I think it's important that our young people see other young people that look like them,
Yes.
and know that they can do and they can reach any height that they want to
Yes.
reach. You know, I ran my first campaign when I was, 14, down at Chatham Estates as the youth development president. And so I would be honored for him to share his story,
Yes.
his journey with other young people in the city of Chester. So I'm sure we can make it happen.
Yes. He, interestingly, like you're saying, when he first ran, he was too young to vote for himself.
Yeah.
And I just found that absolutely exciting and interesting. Thank you so very much.
Give her a hand for bringing that to us.
Thank you.
Really excited and encouraged to hear that council is supportive of this, and it's a relatively small ask from us. So for those who are going to join us in that room after this council meeting, it is not considered an executive session. Sometimes when we go in there, everybody thinks it's all closed. Somebody said, we're going to just leave the door open just to prove it. But anybody is invited. I think there'll be enough room for anyone who's available to get more details on what Ms. Jean Arnold is proposing. Any reports from our chief?
No, sir.
Any of the directors have anything to share? All right. Mr. Solicitor, we all right this week?
Nothing further.
Nothing further. All right. I guess it's, oh, that was public comment. Wow. It's time for us to share anything that we have to share. Anything?
Mayor, I'd just like to say that I've been getting a number of phone calls regarding parking. And we have, whether you're a taxpayer or not, if wherever you live, you should be able to park near where you live. And especially our taxpayers, and some of them with, they have driveways up on their property. And we have a situation down in the vicinity of 3rd and Rainey, between Rainey and Jeffrey, where the residents are being inundated with people parking on their properties. And I have spoken to the police and our Commissioner Blackwell, and I have spoken about this, and I know she's working on it, but I just wanted to bring it to your attention that, and then we have, I see what we have here about the cars parked up on vacant property. I don't believe that, and we're selling cars all over the place, on the city streets, which is not allowable. It's against the law to sell cars on the streets. So I've been fighting this fight for years, and I just like us to really get together and relieve our taxpayers of this problem, this concern. It's a major concern. People should be able to park comfortably, and we want to make our city look better. We want to attract investors. We want to attract people, you know, encouraging them to buy homes here in Chester. I don't see how we're going to do it effectively if we are not on top of this problem where we have cars parked all over the place. So I know you're supportive, all of you, but I just wanted to let the public know this has been an ongoing problem for me. I've been complaining since I stepped into this position about cars being sold from our city streets and then the cars being parked up on vacant lots. It's terrible. It looks horrible. And we have to hold people accountable. They cannot, and I'm sending a message, you cannot come to Chester and do anything you want. And I'm not campaigning. I'm saying as a resident myself, a taxpayer myself, you cannot come to our city and do anything you want. So I want you to know I'm on a mission, and I'm employing my co-counselors, the mayor. I know they're all on board. We've got to get this problem fixed.
Okay, that was great. Only because that is something we're working on very seriously. I've heard you over and over and over again talk about parking, whether it's car dealers parking cars up and down the street. My personal thing is it's a city where cars park on sidewalks, people walk in streets. We've got lots where we see cars. We got junk cars all over the city. It is an issue. And it's an issue that unless you are dedicated to resolving it, it'll never get fixed. You would think that she and I sat together this morning and prepared what I have to say next. And we didn't. It couldn't be a more perfect segue to something I was going to bring up a little later. But if you can see on the screens, here's an example of exactly what she's talking about. One of several violations regarding cars in our town. That lot's on 9th and Morton, if you recognize it. This picture was taken probably 4 weeks ago. It demonstrates abuse in so many ways. Number one, the ground isn't owned by any of those cars. Secondly, you can see the cars that are closest to the street are parked on a sidewalk. You can see a U-Haul sign where someone was bold enough to actually open up a business right there on a lot that they don't own. Behind all that is the Sisters Restaurant that we may be familiar with. She gave me a call, sent me an email, whatever it was, and she says, look, we've had enough. What are you going to do? I was like, give us a minute. And I know people get tired of the give us a minute answer, but we're in government now. Sometimes it takes a minute to get all your resources together to make a move. With the help, assistance of the police department, namely Commissioner Blackwell, we've put our head together for weeks on how we're going to tackle this. I will tell you in no uncertain terms, as much as you want to wave a magic wand and make that go away, it doesn't happen. This happens because of city funds being used to make things happen. So let's wave that magic wand and show the next image of what you will see if you go to 9th and Morton right now. Mm-hmm. There it is. We did it, and I'm really responding with these images in response to what you said, but my original mission was to come here to tell you guys here and those of you in the public, we're coming.
That's right, that's right.
We're coming hard and we're coming strong. This is the work of the police department. This is the work of our streets department. I said police department first, right? Okay, police department, streets department, L&I. It's a combined effort. You're going to begin to see abandoned stickers put on vehicles around the city. That's been finalized. What we're in the process of working on is having police officers carrying around those old-fashioned paper tickets. Well, they will go out and ticket cars. And as you can see, we have the resources to tow everything from a tricycle to a 52-footer. We're not playing with these people anymore, council lady, city council. This is the start of an ongoing effort that residents better get ready for. They're going to be mad. They're going to be as mad as those people are who don't like what they saw in the first image. There's going to be others just as mad that their vehicles are going to be sitting up in some tow yard, racking up daily charges for storage. I'm telling you, we're not playing. This is an initiative that's starting now. It's going to go throughout the summer until people start acting right. It's out of control.
It is.
This particular land is owned by CETA. This is city-owned land. That's what makes it a little easier for us to get to. They're on our land, so we can go get them. There's people parked on empty lots that are owned by property owners. They're a little tougher to get. It's a different process in those cases. But we know that cars are everywhere. For those businesses that are legally operating as just junkyards or repair shops, one of the things down the line I'm looking to do is to have them fence them off and put some type of vinyl around the fence so we can't see it. You do what you want to do on your property, but I don't want to see the junk all over the place, and neither do you. We're all about beautifying the city. So thank you for prompting us to present this in a way that, you know, shows that we're listening to you, we're listening to the residents, and as a team here, we're going to take some hits, but we're going to be ready for that, right?
Absolutely.
That's right, man. We punch back. Go ahead.
Just wanted to branch off of that. Good morning, everyone. In regards to cleaning up our community, in regards to working together, I'm happy to, and I just pulled Mr. Alexander to the side. We have a lot of people in our community that are willing to help financially and with boots on the ground, and they've come to me and approached me, and we had different meetings over this past weekend. They just don't know how to go about it. So I would like to set up a meeting with the mayor, our streets department, public works department, because I have a group of individuals, business owners, taxpayers, residents, who would like to sponsor cleanups, sponsor different projects in our community with no cost to the city of Chester. I think for finances and talking about money in the city of Chester has been an ongoing issue, and I was happy to sit down with some individuals who are from our community, young people, 16, 17, 18-year-olds, that would like to sponsor new basketball courts, new swings for our kids, things like that, so it doesn't have to come out of the city's money. They just don't know who to talk to. So I'm happy to, I would like to announce that to the public, that that's something that I would like to bring to the table. I have a group of 10 people right now who are willing to sponsor a lot of different things. They're just looking for the right person to get in contact with. So our residents are here fighting with us, and I wanted to make that known because I have text messages right now like, hey, I'm going to announce this for you all at City Council. And they're like, thank you, because we're here too. Like, it doesn't just have to be city government. The residents care just as much as we do, and if not more. So I would like to, let everyone know that there's going to be some individuals from our community that are helping to make the change that we want to see.
And we are the right people, the council, because you know us. You see us in church. You see us in the market. We live in your community. So, I get phone calls. Sometimes people stop by, but it's okay because we're here to represent you and to do what you need us to do, So it's really okay for you to, and we're the people, you are the right person, because then you have the connection internally to get things done.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, that's a great example of, our role here as mayor and council is to use our connections to employ them in the city in a way that, we can help get the help that we need. So I look forward to you setting up that meeting. That's absolutely perfect. I want to talk about what happened yesterday in the news at the school district, not the school district, but the charter school, Chester Charter, Chester Community Charter School. I will tell you, as my time at mayor, I've oftentimes been, for one reason or another, disappointed or annoyed or upset or disgusted or pissed, but nothing has brought me to the level of anger than what was reported yesterday going on at the school. I'm not going to talk about the details there. They speak for themselves, and I'm sure there's more to come. As city government who has no jurisdiction over the school district, you know, we can't buy a book, we can't hire a teacher, we can't create curriculum. Our focus is on the safety of our children, primarily coming to and from school. We have no jurisdiction on the safety of what goes on with the kids inside the school. The particular school in question is not located in the city of Chester. I guess by the city boundaries, it's actually in Chester Township, and the Chester Township Police are doing the right thing there. So I just want to remind you, you know, what we're doing within city government for children that involve their safety. And I've got a list of, I started with 10, I just came up with an 11. Well, number one is crossing guards. You know, we're directly responsible for the crossing guard situation. We just signed a pretty big contract not too long ago with a local company who is providing 3 times the coverage of crossing guards than what we normally had. The numbers have gone from 11 to over 30 crossing guards who are strategically located on corners around the city based on a study that we paid for. That's a study that got immediate impact. I wish our controller was here because she's watching the dollars very closely, and I respect her for that. I just drove up Highland Avenue this morning, and it looks like the Chester Charter Scholars Academy, School for the Arts still sticks in my mind, but the Scholars Academy, they're using the same company, and they must have a separate contract, because I looked at our contract. We're paying for the crossing guard that's on the corner of 10th and Highland.
Yes.
But I saw 6 other individuals from the same company, which they must pay for even extra coverage, and that's good for them. So that's crossing guards. Safe Summer Summit. We had a Safe Summer Summit on Juneteenth Day last summer, where we brought together organizations within the city of Chester who do programming for the youth. And it was an opportunity for us to get to know who they were, what their programs were, and just discuss what can we do to engage more children. It was only yesterday morning Justin and I were sitting strategizing what the follow-up should be, and what we came up with is in the next few weeks we're going to bring those same organizations in and any others that we may have missed to not just discuss, because talk is cheap. We're going to have them in the same community room downstairs, each with their own table, and then invite the public in to learn from each of the individual groups what they do, what they offer, so that we can get kids signed up for activities in the summer. Oh, I'm thinking of another one. Hold on. This is going to be a little long, you guys, because we do a lot of work to keep the youth engaged around here that you may not be aware of, so I want to make it all public. The one lesson that I learned when we had the Safe Summer Summit last year on Juneteenth was that although there are a lot of organizations out here providing services for the young people, they were all filled to capacity. So, you know, kids who wanted to get involved couldn't because they were already filled. So that's why we're moving the timeline up to, you know, April, May, so that, you know, kids who, or families who want their kids involved in these organizations have time to sign them up. As soon as I came on council two and a half years ago, one of the first things I had an opportunity to get involved in was to put a playground in the city of Chester. So a new playground has gone up in Sun Village Park. It's right off the 9th Street. That was paid for by PICO. It was built by the Kaboom company who sponsors that whole thing or arranges the whole thing. It was physically built by a lot of community members and Widener. We want to bring more play spaces for the kids to enjoy themselves. That's going to be followed up this summer with community and economic development money that's been earmarked to put more playground equipment on the, as the Sun Village people would say, their side of the park, closer to the houses where the existing playground equipment is, saving the equipment that's there, making it ADA compliant, taking down some of the trees, fixing the building that sits there with a hole in its roof that was only open 2 times a year, election day, primaries in general. So all that's going to be done this summer. There's going to be 4 or 5 streets that are going to be repaved up there as well. Last year, I forget the years, between the time I got here and now, we had Agronomed, that's the marijuana business that's down on 291 at Norris. They also have a facility on the far east side. When they looked at the condition of Pulaski Park on the east side, they promised $50,000 to the city to fix up the park. I looked around the park and tried to decide where would $50,000 go. Things are really expensive. We went to resurface the existing basketball court. If you were to go up there, you're going to see a newly resurfaced basketball court that opened the first week of May last year. It looked great. The community received it with open arms. Not only did they give us the $50,000, but the cost of resurfacing that court is an amazing and outrageous, I think, $100,000. But they gave us the whole $100,000. That's money that didn't have to come out of the city's pockets. So when the councilman talks about free or pro bono or volunteer services, like that's what we seek. The pool in Memorial Park. I mean, there's no way you would know, but a $300,000 investment has gone into that pool in the last couple years. We've resurfaced the pool. You'll see a new tarp on the pool. We've put new concrete on the surface where it was buckling, because we know kids run even though we don't want them to. So that was a tripping hazard. The locker rooms have been updated. And to me, I wasn't going to open the pool that first year because the water quality was horrible. All the chemical controls did not exist. We had a lot of help from Delcora to come in and volunteer their services to get us the chemical apparatus that makes sure that all throughout the day the pool is operating at its safest germ-free limit. Just last week, no, this week, what's the day? Just last week, Friday, our Public Works Department went around to every basketball court in the city and put up new nets. Seems like something small and trivial, but as a guy who used to play a lot of basketball on all these very same courts, we'd much rather shoot through nets than through an empty hole. And it looks terrible when the nets aren't there because they are so cheap. It almost indicates that we don't care, we're not noticing the little things. So our guys went around to every court and put nets up, and we're dedicated to keeping them up. When the nets aren't there, it's not an act of violence or anything. It just shows that kids and adults are playing. So we have to keep those up. I would have loved to have the money this year to resurface a lot of those courts, but I don't think that's going to happen this year. We have a lot of tennis courts in this town. I don't know 5 people who play tennis in this city, but we do have wonderful tennis courts, Memorial Park, Chester Park, Sun Village Park. I've been trying to convert some of those into pickleball courts, a sport that everybody can play from 6 to 70. We could be the center of pickleball excellence, and that's something we want to do. Crossing guards, lights at Memorial Park. There were lights put on the football field several years ago. I always kind of made it funny that, you know, for a city that doesn't play night football games, it seemed kind of strange that we would invest in putting lights on the field, but it was for late in the season when they practiced beyond the dusk, so it is important. But what we use those lights for now is to illuminate Memorial Park up until I think 10 o'clock at night, so that the to kind of limit the activity that's been going on up there with the fighting amongst the young people. They, for some reason, like to gather in parks and beat each other up. So we made the decision this year to keep the lights on till 10 o'clock out there, and it's worked really well. I love visiting schools. I've seen some of your posts where you're visiting schools, hanging out with the kids. Sometime last month was Read to Children Day. I was at the Chester Community Charter School reading Curious George to the kids. They love it. They love when we show up at schools. I encourage mayor and council to continue to do that. There's a new fascination. When I was a kid at their age, I didn't think much of government at all, but these new cartoons all seem to have government embedded in them, whether it's a mayor or people doing government. So the kids really do recognize us and kind of see us as heroes. So I'm really dedicated to getting into the schools a lot more. And then there's the summer food program. Wow, you guys have no idea the bureaucracy that is involved in doing the summer food program properly. It's administered by the Pennsylvania Department of Education, and they have some really strict rules as to how the program should work and even what food should be served. We're going to have a summer food program this year. You know, this is one of those situations where I'd love to do it one way, but it's going to be done the official way. Kids just need to be fed. The Department of Education says they need to be fed a very nutritious meal, and you know, you could argue it each way. I just want kids to get fed, and the cost of doing it the nutritious way is, you know, ultimately the right way, but unfortunately our kids aren't eating nutritiously at home, and those things like apples and carrots usually go to the trash, which really breaks my heart. So we're going to have a summer food program. It's coupled with activities from like 10 to 2 in the morning. There's, I think, 10 locations identified that the summer food program will go to, and the food vendor or the lunch provider is a local business right here in Chester, so we're excited about that. And events like the wrestling is, you know, organizations, again, through connections, they're coming into town, having events at Harrah's only, and they give us hundreds of tickets to hand out to the community. The kids who show up, they just go bonkers down there. I want to thank Commissioner again for always supplying a police officer for protection down there. Not that it's so much needed for wrestling, but for celebrity boxing, it's good to have them on board. So I know that was a little long, but I just want you to know that the safety of our children is really important to us. What I saw yesterday is heartbreaking. I can't tell you how heartbreaking it is for me that kids are facing what they're facing in school. It's a place to learn. It's a place to grow. I'm devastated, and that's about all I can say with that up here. I want to close this one out. Can you guys sing? Can anybody sing out there? Because I'm going to start a song, all right? I'm going to start a song in a version that I'm most familiar with. It's a celebration of a birthday of one of us up here. Hint, hint. Our council lady, you know, back in the day, it was happy birthday. No, so it's happy birthday to ya. Happy birthday to ya. Happy birthday. That's enough. I think she gets it.
Thank you.
We have a card here for you from the council and a few of the others.
Okay, thank you so much.
We really, really, really wish you a happy birthday. We
Thank
know what
you.
you're going through in these weeks past and the weeks coming up, and you need all the joy in your life that you can get, and hugs and love. And we do love you.
Oh.
We do appreciate you. She's my deputy. I only have one.
Thank you so much.
And
I
we go back
appreciate it.
a long, long way. Despite anything that you see or hear up here, we're all humans. We have differences of opinion sometimes, and sometimes we, you know, express ourselves in ways that aren't, you know, the best. But the bottom line is, you know, we all love each other. We all are here for the city of Chester, whether we do it her way, his way, or the other way. It's going to get done. This is for you.
Thank you.
Enjoy. Have a great day.
Thank you
There's no
so
gift
much.
card in there because we had trouble with gift cards years ago. We shied away from that.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Any closing remarks from you guys?
Yes. Same thing that I kind of reiterated a few months ago when we started the new year of 2025. I'm just encouraging everyone to be kind to one another. Say good morning, good afternoon. Hold the door for someone. Ask someone how they're doing. You never know how small, kind words can go a long way in someone's life. I am heavily involved in the schools and the community, and I tell our kids every day, it costs you nothing to be kind to someone. It's free. So I'm asking everyone, I'm asking our communities, continue to encourage, uplift, be positive, and we will continue to work together to make Chester what we want it to be. But I just wanted to express that we can all be the change that we want to see. Just start with a little bit of positivity. So that's it.
Make sure you get one of these. I don't want to announce everyone, but there's a few things coming up this week. There's a council meeting next week, 10 a.m. And for those of you who want to hear and engage in bringing the 18-year-old mayor, is he still 18? Is he 19 yet?
He's 20.
Oh,
now.
he's 20
in
something.
college, yes.
Okay, he's in college now. That's crazy. I wasn't even thinking about government then. I think on the website we'll share a podcast episode that I heard him speak in about a year ago. And for those of you who want to get to know him a little better, this will be a good way of doing it. So remind me to send you the link and we'll put it up. This is an excellent opportunity, again, to engage young people in particular, to connect them to government. Sometimes those of us who are a little senior, getting involved in government at this age may seem like a burden, but if we make government attractive and if we let young people understand the impact it can have, I think about when we went to Chester High School and they wrote the letters to the mayor. Almost all of them in the last paragraph said, Mayor, you should do this, you should do that, you should do the other. And I'm like, yeah, I hear you guys, but no, you guys should be preparing to do this, that, and the other, and you have time to get it ready. So when I write the letters back, that's really going to be my message to them, is to stay engaged and to prepare themselves to be like the young man that we want to bring to the city. He's the perfect example. Thanks for bringing this. Let's say it in advance. Thanks for bringing him to the city, because we're going to make it happen.
Yeah.
I
I just want to say, no one's here from the Parks Department, but I just want to say that I know, and how I know is because I'm in everybody's business, but there's a great effort to clean up the parks too, to get those dead branches and what have you. So I know that there's a process and they have a schedule for each part, but I do want you to know that our parks are being attended to, and we're going to have them looking very nice for you when
I'll give you a great
warmer
example
weather comes.
of what happened this week. There was a particular park in the city that a neighbor, resident, has for years put their trash out right at the park location, right at the entrance to the park. And when the park was junk, I kind of get it. But unfortunately, when people put their trash out, then the dumpers see that as an attractive place to dump. Now we've fixed up the park. It's really beautiful, but the neighbor has still got that old habit of putting their trash at the entrance of the park. And we've had our people knock on their door and tell them, no, 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 no. I think we did that twice. And, oh, yeah, okay, sure, I'll do it. Well, we caught him again this Sunday, having his trash. Actually, it was Saturday. Trash day isn't until Tuesday. His trash is sitting there at the entrance of the park. So, like I said, we're out to get you guys for misbehaving out here in this city. Our I don't know, Parks, Public Works, I don't know who it was, but they went on and snatched the whole trash can. So now the guy has to buy a new trash can. I think he's got the lesson, or at least he learned his lesson. But yeah, to your point, it's about the parks, and keeping the parks safe and clean is important. So we want not just the children, but the young adults and the seniors to have a safe, clean place to stay. We're looking at, putting in not new bathrooms, but fixing the bathrooms that are down at Memorial Park, because our big parks don't even have bathrooms. It's just deferred maintenance for years and years and years that we have to catch up on. It's a process. It takes a long time, but we're also trying to find the things that we can do quickly so that you guys know that we do go to work here. Right, guys?
Absolutely.
Yes,
go.
we do.
Love these guys.
24/7.
All right, so with that being said, can I get a motion to adjourn this meeting?
So move.
And a second.
Second.
Oh, this meeting's adjourned. Join us over there.
Thank you for my card.